Happy Spiritual Sunday to you all. Welcome back to another spiritual adventure of understanding life, understanding the purpose of life, understanding the technology of the soul, as we call it in the Kabbalah Center, understanding how to assess yourself, how to guide yourself through navigate, if you will, through the chaos, the obstacles, the challenges of life, and come out, as they used to say, smelling like a rose with tremendous light and blessings. And so as we get started, let's just take a quick look. We have Portland. Yes. Okay, great to see you all. Hong Kong, Las Vegas. All right. So as we often start, we're going to read from Karen's book, Simple Light. And she writes like this. And for some of you who are newer, just take what's written, accept it as an aspect of the truth of life and our own being, and see how. Often what I find in class is sometimes we'll teach some aspect of Kabbalistic wisdom from the Rav and Karen, from Rav Ashlag, Rav Brandwein, the founders of the center, or the lineage of the center, and people say, oh, it doesn't relate to me. And 99 times out of 100, probably 100 out of 100, the advantage and the benefit that we can get is by accepting the truth of the saying, of the teaching, and then looking inward, looking at ourselves and seeing how that wisdom fits us. Because sometimes even we talk about the world being a mirror and people will look out in simple terms. So the Kabbalists have been teaching for thousands of years. There's only one being on earth, Genesis 1, and then it's split into Adam and Eve, then it's split into the 8.5 billion of us. But on a spiritual level, there's only one soul, one being that has 8.5 billion, let's call it spiritual organs to that one being. So everyone and everything in the world is a reflection of us. So people will say, well, I can't stand when people lie. And let's say they could truly say to themselves, they don't lie. So they say, oh, doesn't it impact them? No. If it's something that bothers you, that's the key. If something triggers you to feel reactive, if something pushes your buttons, as they say, then look for how this wisdom is in your life. How, I call it translate. How can you translate it to your life? So let's say with a liar, person hates people, is button pushed by people lying. They never lie. And let's say they truly don't lie. But look inside and see how many ways a person lies to themselves, thinking they're no good, they're stupid, whatever pejorative term they use about themselves, that is a lie. Because every one of us come from one creator, and that one creator that is perfect can only create perfection. And therefore, yes, as we'll talk a little today, we have free will, so we can use our God-given power to do silly, foolish things. But that's not who we are, what we are. And that's the key. So as we read this from Karen, see how you can fit it into your life for your benefit. So Karen writes like this. If we want to be this or that by age 50, what happens every day until we reach the anticipated moment? Is every day of our life until we reach 50 just a waste? When we open our eyes and breathe in the morning, we should realize that this day is just as important as any other. Our job today is no different than it was yesterday or will be tomorrow or even 25 years from now. our task is still to bring more light to the world. This day, today, does matter. And so on that note, to help strengthen the awakening and bringing to our conscious mind the truth, we have, as we do each Sunday, we have our affirmation. And so let's say it together. Consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. Okay. So today I wanted to talk about robots, because it seems to be the big thing out there. You know, everybody talking about robots. When I was a kid and they first started to come out with robotic arms, let's say in factories, people were in fear. The world's going to be taken over. People are going to lose their jobs. Human beings will be obsolete. All those sorts of things. Okay, over the years, they found out, you know what? We used robots or robotic things for our benefit. But life went on. People still found ways and means to keep moving forward. So when today, 2025, people think of robots, they think of those machines that are built and shaped more like a human being. But they're automatons, they're automatic. But I want us to think a little differently. Robots are machines that not just look in the shape of a human being, but they're machines that do things that human beings can do, maybe in a little different way, as we'll talk about here in a second. So think, the first bicycle, when it was invented, it was built. Bicycle transported a person from one place to another just faster than a person could walk or run. It is robotic. It's just a machine, right? It works by us pedaling it and steering it, directing where it's going to go, but it's robotic. And therefore you go right down the line. A car, a motorcycle, airplane. They're machines that we use that in essence take us from one place to another just faster than we could do. If you think of an oven, especially today's ovens, they are machines. They cook food. Instead of, let's say, like years and years and years ago, people had to light the fire and, you know, even that, okay, they lit the fire, speed up the boiling of water, etc., etc. But today, ovens are programmed. You can program an oven to a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, etc., etc. It's robotic. It's a machine that works like automatically. Airplanes in a similar way. Even they have autopilot. You can put it on a setting and it flies by itself. It takes commands. But remember that all these things were built by, I don't really want to say created per se, because we don't create. We just form. We take things that existed from the Big Bang and we form them into these different things. They were formed by and programmed by people. People built the plane. People built the car. People built the computer. People are building robots. The issue is we have allowed ourselves to give away our God-given power. The Creator implanted, as the Bible in its coded way says, implanted a piece of itself. We're all in the image and likeness of the Creator, which Kabbalistically means that we have all the powers of the Creator in our level to heal, to bless, to transform. The issue is we've given away our power to those things. I remember years and years ago when I first started in the center, the Rav would do whatever, multiplication, calculating, multiplication, division, etc., longhand, because the Rav wanted to and was teaching us to keep flexible, to keep active, to not allow atrophy, let's call it, to the brain power that we have. People gave it away to even those little calculators. Okay, they're not going to do the math, they just do it on a calculator. So they've given away some power that way. And over time, even more and more and more. How many people know all the phone numbers, even just say, of their children by memory? Or have they given that power away to the cell phone? Well, they program, and again, we program the number into the cell phone, but then they give away the power. Before there was a cell phone, you had to memorize people's phone numbers. Now, we've given that power away. And unfortunately, slowly, that muscle of calculation or memory has, in many people, atrophied. Can be reawakened. That's what Kabbalah is about. Reawaken. Take back the power we've given away. But we have to realize, like the Rav used to say, who's more powerful? The creator of something or the created? So the Rav would constantly remind us, we created the computer. We programmed the computer. Therefore, in the similar way the Creator created the one soul of humanity, the Creator is greater than the created. So also in this world, the creators, we, who build things, who form things out of the raw material that existed in this physical universe from the Big Bang, we are greater. But over lifetimes and over centuries, we've allowed ourselves to fall to disbelief. The Rav used to tell us, that the negative thinking in our head repeats lies 1,000 times, so we tend to believe it. What the work of the center is to teach us and repeat 1,001 times the truth. This is why we have our affirmation, to keep reminding ourselves, strengthen our consciousness, our awareness that consciousness is everything. To be aware what we think, how we feel, what's going on inside of us, so that we can take control over how we think, what we say, and what we do. Because once we use the power of the light in us to think, say, and do, we have formed something in the world that will reflect back to us equally. And therefore we want to be more conscious of our words, thoughts, and actions. So go back to biblical times. The Kabbalists remind us, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, people like that, great biblical righteous people, they were able to teleport, do telepathy, transmute matter, levitation, all these things that are mystical. And unfortunately, sometimes you and me, as we'll call them, the 1%ers, the people who were caught in the physical material world as the end-all be-all, they don't believe the stories of the Bible. And yes, they can point out the logic of things. But you and I, if you've been learning in the Kabbalah Center and you understand, the Zohar says very simply, the 5 books of Moses is a code. And like any code, it's not going to give away, so to speak, all the details. It's coded. And therefore, if a person only looking at the code and sees where it contradicts itself or it doesn't make sense, and therefore say, well, let's throw out the 5 books of Moses because it doesn't make sense, and this is the Zohar, not me, calls those people stupid ignoramuses. Because it's a code. And as you, through the Zohar, unlock the code, now it starts to make a lot of sense, and not only makes sense, but gives you and me technology, spiritual technology, how to access the same power that these people used and demonstrated by the stories in the Torah and the Bible, but use it in our level. So yes, Moses literally used 72 names of God in the powerful, most powerful way, and split water. Because he drew on the condition of creation, what today we might call the scientific understanding of things, but he knew the spiritual laws of the universe. And he knew that water could be split with the proper use of the 72 names, channeling that energy, as we do on Sundays, and we'll do today a meditation on one of those 72 names. He was able to split water. Now, you and I may not yet be at the level of consciousness to do that, but by scanning the 72 names, or of course the Zohar, the most powerful instrument of the light in this universe, we can split our own veils and curtains of illusion, of limitation, and reveal or let shine the infinite light of the Creator that is all around us and fills every human being, because we're all created in the image and likeness of the Creator, means the Creator that emanated light in the endless world into our soul filled us with light. So every human being on earth today is filled with light, but not everybody is revealing that light. Not everybody even is aware they have that light and that power within them. So all these things that we talk about, teleportation and levitation and transmuting of matter and telepathy and things, we think, oh, it's either not true or maybe it was the exception to the rule and not for us. But think in simple terms. We've all had the experience that you're thinking of somebody out of nowhere. You're at work, you're at home, and all of a sudden that thought jumps in your head about Mary or John. And next thing you know, either they're calling you, you're calling them, or you show up somewhere and there they are. So we had a sense of telepathy because there is only one soul, one mind. And in that moment, we happen to be in the space where that thought came in and we're thinking of them. And next thing you know, they're on the phone calling us. Oh, hi, how are you? I was just thinking about you. So we can see that today, even in the simple terms. And I know people will justify and sort of rationalize what I'm about to tell you. But somewhere thousands of years ago, we learned how to transmute matter, a tree into paper. That's transmutation of matter, is it not? We turned a tree into paper we can write on. That's transmutation. Yes, may not be in the level of the great Kabbalists, but at least acknowledge that it's a form of transmuting matter. We have a form of telepathy. Even in a simple way, the car, the airplane, the rocket, etc., is speeding up into teleportation. And even today, science has talked about, on a microscopic level, they've been able to teleport whatever it is, an electron from one place to another. Yes, it might be on a micron level, but it's still a sense of, or an essence of teleportation. So we're getting closer and closer and closer. Unfortunately, though, we've also turned it around the other way. So, those of you who have ever been to Florida, or you can Google it, there's something called here in Florida the Coral Castle. And if you look it up, it was basically a formation of coral. Some of the blocks of coral are hundreds and even thousands of pounds, and yet it was all built by one man in the early 20th century who claimed he was able to use the Earth's magnetic field to levitate these blocks. And there are stories that show that. And I'll just give you one quick thing. We went to visit before we moved from Miami to Boca years back. We took the kids down to the Coral Castle, and there's one 2-ton stone that was put on pivots, so like a revolving door. So when this man back in the 20s or 30s put it up, he did it himself. And of course, people going to visit, they push it because you could push it with your one little finger and it would revolve. So apparently in the early 21st century, the early 2000s, enough people had pushed it that it came off centered. And in the 21st century, with all of our modern devices, they couldn't put it back the way he had put it in place in the beginning on these 2 pivots in the 20s or 30s. So keep an open mind. And then I want to get to this point. The Rav, when I started in 1988 as a teacher, the Rav would kind of make fun of how unconscious people can be, because there is a pain relief medicine that advertised for temporary relief of a headache. Temporary relief of headache pain. And the Rav would say, they tell you right up front, it's temporary. It's not curing. It's just temporary relief. And yet people were taking it like it was going to cure the source of the headache. So the Rav wasn't against these things, but the Rav would remind us, yes, if a person has a headache, and because the pain of the headache, they can't meditate, scanning the Zohar, using the light of the Creator through the words of the Zohar and the letters of the Zohar to wake up an awareness and fix the source, their negative action that brought the blockage, that brought the headache. Then take the pain relief medication so that even temporarily, no pain, then they could meditate, they could focus, they could go inside them to come to see how did they block the light that brought the signal that they were blocking light and losing blessings in their life, creating more darkness and chaos, and they could repair that through scanning the Zohar, being more proactive, sharing in a proactive, uncomfortable way to take away the darkness and the blockage. So today, what's the big thing out there? Robotics, AI. And we keep saying AI, 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 and I want to awaken consciousness. What does AI stand for? Artificial intelligence. And so, like the Rav told us back then, they're telling us right up front, it's artificial intelligence. And as I've shared with you, the Rav constantly would remind us, we human beings created the computer. We human beings are creating these robots. We human beings are creating artificial intelligence. But it's plain as day, artificial. How many of us don't want to have artificial things? Artificial whatever, sweeteners, artificial preservatives, artificial this and that. We don't want artificial, we want the real thing. How many of you would like to have an artificial relationship? Oh, some of you are already going, well, maybe that's better than not having one at all. Maybe temporarily. But you don't want artificial, you want the real thing. You want true love. You want true health. You want true prosperity. You want things to last, not artificial, that will be short term. So they're telling us right up front, artificial intelligence, not God-given intelligence, not true lasting intelligence. So I would like us to wake up and think consciously about these things out there. Because once we're conscious and we're not just going along with our unconscious thinking, the unconscious pattern of our thought up to this moment, but we pause and we think consciously, then we have a chance, an opportunity to use the light of the Creator that's in our soul to reveal its next highest level, a greater intensity of that, revealing more of our potential of 100%, because the Creator gave us 100%, not 99, 100% infinite light, and therefore lasting blessings of health and peace and love and prosperity and unity and all the good things. So part of the reason we have today's message is there was a student was telling me that her daughter was talking to, I don't want to use the names, but you know those little machines today that people can talk to. Hey, so-and-so, tell me how to get there, tell me this, tell me that, or whatever. So the mother heard the daughter say, please tell me this and this and this. And when the machine told her, said, oh, thank you. So the mother looks at the daughter and said, why are you saying thank you? Why are you saying please? I mean, it's a robot. It's a machine. And the daughter very nicely says, because it's not for the machine, it's for me. I want to be more appreciative. I want to have more gratitude, which is an amazing lesson. All the Kabbalists teach us, Rav Ashlag specifically, appreciation is the vessel or the container for our next greater blessings. But what it sparked in me is this idea. What is the original artificial intelligence? And as we've often called it, if you're familiar, if you've been around Spiritual Sunday or you learn in the center, the original artificial intelligent program is that thing we call Satan, the opponent, the adversary, the non-human program of opposition that in this world is programmed by us. It's a very complicated program, right? Like computers today, people program computers. They can do all kinds of amazing things, keep records of things, calculations, etc. But also remember, it's built from a binary system, ones and zeros or on and off. And the combinations of that create all the complexity that we appear to see. So how much more you and I, as the one soul, when we left the endless world, we programmed this challenger. Because if we didn't have any sense or any form of opposition to come in this world and simply imitate the Creator by sharing our light 24/7, even though the light would be revealed, we wouldn't have the same true sense of lasting fulfillment, true sense of satisfaction, accomplishment. There has to be an opponent, like in any sport game or any video game. If there's no opponent and you just sort of walk through it, yeah, you may win, but you don't feel a sense of accomplishment or victory. So we put that programming, and just like they're saying with AI, we programmed it. It sounds like us. It talks like us. In my head, my AI program, my opponent voice sounds like my voice. So growing up, whenever I heard those limiting thoughts in my head, it sounded like me, so I tended to believe it. Took me years to finally have the blessing to come to the center, to have greater consciousness. Remember, no. To understand this is a add-on program. It's not me. As we're calling it today, AI, it's artificial. The light in me, the light in you is eternal, is real. Everything else is artificial. So realize how much power we've given away. In fact, you want to talk about robots? You and me essentially were created to be a robot. Don't take it badly, but think about it. If you've learned Kabbalah 1, you'll understand this. If not, go back, review Kabbalah 1, take Kabbalah 1, or read the book Power of Kabbalah. We were created by the Creator to be a vessel, a conduit, to reveal the light, a container that the Creator could emanate its light into that vessel, into our soul. So the vessel was pre-programmed by the Creator to want eternal bliss, lasting fulfillment from the light of the Creator. When we came into this world, and I'll just throw it out there, most of you have been around or you've taken Kabbalah 1, so you get the idea. The Big Bang, creation of this universe, was because we, the one of us, collectively decided we wanted to imitate the Creator. And in the endless world where there's endless light, there was no ability for us to channel our light, to share our light, because the endless world is full. So we pulled a curtain called the Big Bang and created, from our point of view, this physical universe of 5 senses and illusion, so that we could, from our point of view, experience a certain lack of revelation of light, and therefore give us an opportunity to channel our light out into the world to other vessels, meaning to other people on earth. Because every one of us is a piece of that vessel, and therefore our soul is still and will always be a vessel. So we are robots. We are created to be a flow, or creative flow, a conduit of energy. Unfortunately, in this world, temporarily, we have the ability of letting flow self-centered anger, jealousy, ego, greed, insecurity, judgment, etc. Or we can let flow the light of the Creator. That is a choice that we have, because in the endless world, we are vessels, desire to receive lasting fulfillment from the light, and we're all filled with the light of the Creator, which is simply the energy of sharing that light and manifesting blessings. So in this world, that free will, because we programmed the AI of the opponent, that robotic thought, even our robotic AI program called the opponent, adversary, Satan, ego, it doesn't have free will. It's programmed to work off and, if you will, play off of us. So when a person has a button pushed because of their previous negative actions, creating that spiritual button or wound, when something comes along and pushes that button, touches that wound, and the person has an awakening of a reactive feeling, jealousy, fear, insecurity, self-loathing, whatever it may be, that's when the AI program is activated and taunts people to behave in a reactive way, a self-centered, give me way, taking instead of sharing, like the light. This is our opportunity to grow. This is how we defeat the opponent and experience lasting blessings, by overcoming the opponent. And this is why, as we learned from Kabbalah 1, pause. When your buttons are pushed, pause for a moment. Stop. Have conscious awareness. What am I about to do? What do I want to do? Do I want to act like the opponent and give in to the ego, selfishness, desire for receiving instead of sharing? No, we only came out of the endless world to share our light, to imitate the Creator. And therefore, in the pause, I can think, I want love, kindness, prosperity, happiness, joy, etc. So I have to emanate that light. Yes, into the darkness of that situation, into the discord of that situation, into even the chaos of that situation. Because as we know, fundamentally, even physically, only light will take away darkness. Nothing else will. So when you emanate the light from your soul by conscious thought, no, I don't want to be a robot of my opponent. I want to use my robotic nature, a vessel, to channel the light in a greater level out from me, through me, into the heart and soul of those people in the situation and into that situation. So the darkness goes away, blessings show up, and what I put out in the cosmos comes back to me. So if a person wants to scream and yell and react, that's what the cosmos will reflect. You and I are learning pause. No, I want greater peace, love, prosperity, health, clarity, guidance, support of the light, revelation of the light, to navigate and break through all the darkness, to remove the darkness from my life and through my life and your life to the world. That's what I want. And therefore, yes, even though it's uncomfortable, and even though that AI program is saying, no, don't be an idiot. They just said a nasty thing to you. Why are you going to send them light? Why are you going to act with compassion? Because I want more blessings. I want to achieve the mission for which I came, the purpose for which I came. We all came into this world to have eternal blessings, to have heaven on earth, to return to the Garden of Eden, which was heaven on earth, by sending more light. And remember, if you are new or newer, being compassionate, sending the light of compassion or even forgiveness and tolerance doesn't mean you put up with their bad behavior. Only light protects us from darkness. So yes, you can channel the light. And when you act in your robotic nature of the vessel of the light of the Creator and you shine light on them, then the consciousness, the voice of the light, your soul will help you, will tell you, guide you, and support you what actions to do, what words to say. So you protect yourself from their darkness by shining light and saying or doing whatever you're inspired by your soul. So it's not about, well, I'm going to be compassionate, and like people think, oh, just be weak and lay on the floor and let everybody walk all over me. No, the light is the most powerful force in the universe. It's the only thing that will take away darkness. I don't care who you are, what power you have physically, I don't know, economically, politically, whatever it is. Nobody takes away darkness with that power. Only the light. Physically, you turn on a light source, darkness goes away. There's no other way. So spiritually, how much more? The light of the Creator is the only thing will take away our darkness. The only thing will turn all the darkness into light, transformation. We are constantly transmuting the physical world every time you pause and send light, even though it's uncomfortable, but to act with greater love, kindness, and compassion, greater than you did yesterday, greater when it's in the face of you don't feel like it and you don't want to, and the opponent in your head, the AI program, is telling you, yes, scream, yell, fight like you did before because it's instant gratification. But then pain and suffering show up again, like a flash of light. Oh, like lightning, whoosh, bolt of lightning, there's bright light all around, and then it disappears into darkness again. Because it's not lasting light. It's not continuous. When you and I are pausing and we're channeling that light, that's continuous. And we can make it 100% because the Creator gave us 100%. So let's think about, we don't want to give in to the artificial intelligence. We don't want to give in to that AI program that we're so used to listening to. No, it's time. Because why? There is a deadline. And I don't want to go into it, but let's just understand we are virtually 97% of the way to the deadline. The deadline meaning every human being on earth has to remove all of their anger, jealousy, ego, greed, insecurity, etc. Anything that's not light-like has to be removed from every single one of us in a short time from now. And this is why if you look back on the last, 10, 15, 20, even 30 years, the intensity of, on one hand, greater light. There's more people on earth who are at least thinking spiritually, thinking they want to be more connected to the eternal source that we call the light of the Creator. At the same time, there's also a greater intensity. And the Zohar told us this 2,000 years ago in its written form. This will be a sign that the end of pain, suffering, and death and hell on earth is coming, when it's extremes. Either the light, which is concentrating more and more people, opening themselves up, heart and soul, to the light of the Creator, and love your neighbor, and at the same time the darkness, the anger, the jealousy, greed, ego is intensifying and concentrating, meaning the gray, the thing that's sort of a mixture of light and darkness, separating out either into the light or the darkness. And so you see it, so you know. Even as the Rav used to call it, high tech, like we've talked about, they're getting closer and closer to teleportation, levitation, transmutation, telepathy, etc. We're getting closer and closer as high tech grows. It's just showing us, if you follow that pattern, you see it's getting closer and closer to, like the Rav would say, the computers, when they first came out, a room-sized computer could do what a little 99-cent calculator can do today. Things are shrinking. Well, if it keeps shrinking, it'll turn into no physicality. And like when we talk about the biblical and the true Kabbalists, master Kabbalists, they were able to teleport. There's a story, the Baal Shem Tov, one of the great Kabbalists from the 1700s. He said, whether you believe him or not, that he was able to turn, the story was about an oven. He said he could turn that oven into gold. He knew how to transmute matter. There's one story that he was going with his assistant, let's call it, his butler, the butler holding a candle, and they were going to find something. They were going to the mikveh, basically. This is in the Ukraine in the middle of winter. Well, the candle's burning out, and the man says to the Baal Shem Tov, the candle's burning out, I don't have another candle. And the Baal Shem Tov said, well, idiot, take one of the icicles and light it. Because the same power that gives the wax and of the candle the ability to burn, that same power can give the ability to an icicle to burn. And he lit it, and it did. So there are plenty of stories. Again, not everyone will believe it, but I think you and me, who are opening our heart and mind more and more, are accepting it, are aspiring to achieve it, and acknowledging how we do it. So remember, how do we do this? Face your AI program. And when it's telling you to judge somebody, shine light out of your heart and soul consciously. Judge them for good. Look for the good inside them. When the AI program encouraging you, once the button of jealousy is pushed, to just express jealousy or emanate jealous energy, pause. Say, no, I want to emanate gratitude and appreciation because that's what I want to come back to me. So I become more grateful for the good things in my life. I appreciate every day more and more the fact I have light in me, I have breath, I can breathe, I can walk, I talk, and I want to appreciate and even be happy for other people's good. Every time a person wants to beat themselves up, right, because they did something foolish, stupid, or whatever, pause. Send the light. No, I'm a pure and perfect being of light. Pure and perfect being of light. Shine the light out through the situation, out to the world. Just, in essence, you do the opposite of what the AI negative program is telling you to do. That's how kindness, love, sensitivity, apology, forgiveness, tolerance, acting like the light in the face of a challenge, that's how we will defeat the AI program with the true, eternal, lasting intelligence of the Creator. So today, let's decide we don't want to let artificial intelligence take us over. No, we don't want it to take over other people either, because look at the state of the world as it's doing that. No, we want today, we're going to take back the power we've given away to the AI program. We're going to use the God-given power of the light of the Creator to transform all the darkness to light, all the chaos to order, all the divisiveness to unity, all the hatred to peace. That it's in our day, now, we will transmute hell on earth to heaven on earth. God bless. So I'd like to do, as we do, 1 second here. Okay. One, I want to appreciate and again encourage you. Everybody understands charity, giving charity. Some of you even understand the idea of tithing. So I just put the link there. We want to be a conduit of the light. So it's the talents and abilities, the capability the Creator gave us that gives us the ability to do the job we do, make the investments we made, whatever, which way we have manifested prosperity, our money, our income. We want to be a channel of it. This is why every religion on earth talks at least about tithing and charity. Give 10% of what you've earned, what comes your way. Be charitable. So one, I want to appreciate all of you who do share with the center and support the spread of this wisdom and also, of course, the books of the Zohar. We are now over 900,000 on the way to our goal of the first million. And it's been just about a year and a half, over 900,000 because of your support and thousands of volunteers around the world who go out every day and offer these, the pocket-sized Zohar, to people all around the world for blessings, for health, to be guided by the light. And then there's this, which we call the sacred Zohar. So it's all the Aramaic, because we know the Aramaic is the power of the light force, awakening us as we're about to do with our 72 names of God. And then also I want to encourage you, just came out, it's 2 volumes, but it's the Center's translation of the books of Rabbi Isaac Luria, the one book out of his set of books, The Gates of Reincarnation. So this is available. It's the first time that there's been a complete translation with explanation from the Hebrew of Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Ari's teachings about reincarnation. So that's available on Kabbalah.com. It's available if you're near one of the Kabbalah centers, should have them in stock. Okay, so let's do our meditation. This is one of the 72 names of God. Hebrew letters just shine the light of the Creator. And therefore this combination, He, Resh, Chet, is the power of, if you will, reconnecting, what's called like the umbilical cord. We want to go back to our original connection to the light of the Creator. The essence of our soul connection to the endless light, that one vessel that was created by the Creator and filled with infinite light. He, Resh, Chet. So just let the shapes, eyes are the window to the soul. So let the 3 shapes be engraved in your mind's eye, and the name, He, Resh, Chet. Begin awakening the ability of replugging into the light of your soul, going back to that original connection by taking away all of the blockages, anything that we've done that's blocked that conduit of light between us and each other and us and the endless light. He, Resh, Chet. So I ask you, sit comfortably in your seat, feet flat on the floor, hands in your lap. Taking a few deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose, hold the breath for a moment, exhale through your mouth. allowing yourself to relax, relaxing into the endless light in you and around you, feeling the embrace of the light of the Creator. Relax, ease into the light. Feel the power and the warmth of the light surrounding you and filling you with that true sense of unconditional love that we all sense on a greater, higher level. The presence of the light in and around us. And open our heart, our soul, and our mind to our next level of revealing our light, plugging into the light of the Creator, and we envision the energy forces, the light particles, Hey, Resh, Chet. See it just above your head. See the light that comes from the endless world, in and through those particles, shining into the world. The ability, the connection of our original, pure connection to the infinite light. Hey, Resh, Chet. Shining, vibrating with this light of reconnecting ourselves fully to our source and allowing the light to begin taking away whatever blockages still remain. And so we bring this name, Hey, Resh, Chet, into the top of our head. Let it awaken the light in every cell of our being. Let it flow from head to toe. That it's activating the light in every cell of our being, physically and spiritually. Removing darkness, removing blockages, removing from our consciousness any limitation that we've held on to. As through this combination, Hey, Resh, Chet, we plug ourselves in more powerfully to the light of the Creator in every part of our being and in every part of the one unified soul that exists as a spiritual internet between every person on earth. And as this light is awakened through all of our being, let's focus on a beam of this light, true unity and oneness with the Creator. Beam light out from your heart and soul to the heart and soul of all your family and friends. Awakening in them, Hey, Resh, Chet, that they're feeling their original umbilical cord to the light of the Creator that has allowed this world and each of us to exist. And now we are making the greater conscious effort to connect with it, to channel it, and through your family and friends, sending it out to the heart and soul of every person on earth. That the oneness that exists in the endless world is now remanifest in this world. That as the light is growing brighter, as we send it out to every person on earth, unconditionally, without exception, the light is brighter and brighter, the darkness going away. That the AI program of hatred, anger, judgment, self-less worth, devaluating ourselves, anything but the light of the Creator is dissipating, and that true light is being revealed in its place. That people are acting with greater love and kindness and compassion towards all other people. And we are acknowledging and empowering this light to take away the thoughts of that negative AI program. And allowing only the voice of our soul to speak to us, to operate through us. And we envision peace and harmony once again in the world, that we can all return to the place of heaven on earth, the Garden of Eden, that the whole world will experience it, live in it, having true joy, happiness, peace, and love. Wherever you may need help and support, ask now with this open heart and mind. Ask your soul for guidance. Hey, RESH, CHET, connecting you more directly, powerfully to the voice of your soul. Ask with true desire to bring peace and harmony to the world through you. And then listen for the inspiration and the guidance of your soul. Take note how more at peace you feel, more relaxed, more certain, as you've become a greater conduit of this light. Seeing the world at peace, in love. We take one more deep breath to anchor it into physical existence and anchoring it in our heart, soul, and mind. And slowly exhale and open your eyes. Thank you for joining us. God bless. Have an amazing week. And please let me know, write me about your transformations, your miracles, and whatever questions you have. It may become the next Spiritual Sunday topic. God bless. Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, click the subscribe button so you'll be notified of future videos as we post them. Would also love to hear your comments and questions, whether it's about this video in particular or about the wisdom of Kabbalah as we teach it in the Kabbalah Center. If you'd like to learn more about various subjects, go to our website, www.kabbalah.com. We have thousands of articles and classes on various subjects within the wisdom of Kabbalah. Share this video with other people. If you were inspired and it can change your life, let's start changing thousands and thousands of people's lives around the world also. If you'd like to contribute in support of Spiritual Sunday and the projects of the Kabbalah Center, that link is also below. I wish you an amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be out there. And may God bless us all that we awaken the light of the Creator, not only inside us to a higher level, but touching the heart and soul of every human being on earth with the light of the Creator.